going on, Jerome's? So as of right now, 7:39 p.m. Central Time, the only time zone that matters. The Vikings 53 on Rooster is kind of set, right? And of course, there could be moves that happen very quickly that upset the apple cart. Oh, I forgot Duke Shelley. Oh, we'll get to it. But yeah, the Vikings offense, Vikings defense. Some surprises. 7 UDFAs making the squad. Only 4 cornerbacks. That'll be rectified. Vikings probably going to add some depth in the receiver room as well. And you know the Kwesi's just like, looking at the waiver wire, looking at trades, looking at free agents. There's a bunch of players that could and should be in the sphere. I'll actually set the over-under right now. Between the 53 and the practice squad, I bet you the Vikings will add more than 4.5 players. The half player is a little person. That's the correct term now, isn't it? Doesn't matter. Anyways, so here are some players that are available right now. Now, this is a mix of waivers. This is a mix of vested veterans who were given the release, could sign any time. So, honestly, if you're watching this video on Wednesday morning and you're like, well, Quintez Cephas actually signed with the Titans last night. Don't care. Do not care in the slightest. But we got one page for receivers, one page for cornerbacks and everyone else. So wide receiver wise, so down at the bottom, Thielen and Myers are the 2 trade options. They're out there chilling, right? And at this point, I kind of don't want to do the Thielen trade just to piss off the Panthers. That's all. Panthers fan is really chirpy. But Malachi Corley, 3rd round pick last year out of Western Kentucky by the Jets. New regime coming on in. And Corley, I don't know, like the mandate for the Vikings is you need to have someone who can contribute the first 3 games. I don't know if Corley is that, but he certainly will be interesting long term. Robert Woods could contribute the first 3 games. The former Los Angeles Rams wide receiver had some crossover with Phillips as well as Kevin O'Connell. Bounced around from the Texans to the Steelers. So the veteran, I think, would be fine for 3 games, right? Quintez Cephas, as mentioned, yeah. James Prochet, SMU, right, also could help in the return game. Also, old friend Amir Smith-Marset, former Pride of Iowa, spent 1 camp with the new Kevin O'Connell regime, was a Spielman-era selection, but could help in the return game as well. Terrace Marshall Jr., former teammate with Justin Frigga Jefferson at LSU. Remember, it was like, so the Beatles were Burrow, Jefferson's Lennon. Wait, no, Jefferson's Lennon and McCarthy, and George Harrison. Then Burrow, Terrace Marshall Jr., and Jamar Chase were all. Actually, they're all Pete Best. Actually, no, Jamar Chase is Ringo. There you go. KJ makes the most sense. If the Vikings are going for a cost-effective approach, he's a free agent, can sign any time. Hell, could sign overnight. Who knows? Also, league minimum. Probably in there. Tyler Scott is interesting, former Bearcat, cut by the Bears, probably trying to get him out of the practice squad. Mecole Hardman of the Packers, Super Bowl champion. Yeah. Former Pride of Georgia, speedster, special teams guy. I don't know. And also, so if the Vikings do make a waiver claim, remember, you have to put the player on your 53. So I don't know. But also, if the player clears waivers, he can sign anywhere, right? He does not have to sign with the practice squad of the team that released him. So that's where the Vikings get in the mix. Also, Hunter Renfrow, it would be the greatest troll job in the world of the Panthers. Like, oh, you don't want to trade a Thielen? Oh, you're demanding a 3rd round pick? We'll just sign Hunter Renfrow, who you just cut. All right, and the veteran could, be the slot machine for a little bit until Addison gets back. He could be fine. DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I always thought that DPJ was going to be a little something. Hasn't worked out. Drake Stoops is a player playing a similar system out in LA. There you go. Then cornerbacks wise, so there's a couple of names here. First off, I forgot to include Duke Shelley, the Vikings legend. Like Duke Shelley would be like, you should start Webman from Little Big League. That's what Duke Shelley is. I wouldn't mind Duke Shelley being added back to this secondary because, obviously they're going to add some bodies, and they weren't happy with Zamiah Vaughn. They weren't happy with Mekhi Blackman. Here's what it is. Now, down towards the bottom, the Vikings could just sign Stephon Gilmore. It kind of seems that way, where obviously he's very familiar with Flores, and would Gilly accept a cornerback 4 or 5 job? Will he play special teams? I don't know. And frankly, at this point, I don't see any other like opening elsewhere. I mean, he could probably go somewhere to a bottom basement team middle of the season and just play out the string, get half a paycheck, sure. But, I mean, he has a chance to be a part of something special here. So, I don't know. Also, we Vikings fans talk so much ish about Gilly. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, man, missed you. But Dane Jackson, the Bills. Dane Jackson was a 7th-round pick that was involved with the Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson trade, I believe. But the Pride of Pitt recently let go. Mike Hilton. Hey, but probably going to join the Colts. Speaking of the Colts, so they freed up a couple spots. Alex Johnson, preseason superstar, highly graded PFF cornerback out of UCLA, could make some sense here with the Vikings. Julius Brents, what's his name now? Something Brents, but Brent's the pride of Kansas State. Long arms, condor, physical cornerback. I like him a lot. Speaking of long arms, physical cornerbacks, Odell Fortune out of South Carolina. I absolutely loved and adored him in the draft process, and the Giants are probably going to practice squad him, but we say, no. Come aboard. Yeah. Eli Ricks, former stud of Alabama, started a bunch of games around the league. He's in the mix out there. 2 from the Falcons. Kobe. All right. Kobe Bean Bryant, formerly of the University of Kansas, undersized but feisty. I think will be a nice addition to the room. Again, most of these are just like my draft crushes, either from this year or yesteryear. But C.J. Henderson, former first-round pick of the Jaguars, just has not worked out. Fabian Moreau, we can bring him on back. All right, so I kind of put Moreau and Gilmore in the same boat. Okay, yeah. Also, could put Bobby McCain in that mix too. Why not? And then some non-wide receivers, cornerbacks. Damian Martinez. That's just a U being the U. So kind of. Seahawks fans were kind of expecting him to make the 53, but I guess not. I would rather have Damian Martinez over Ty Chandler any day. Any day, man. Frank Gore Jr., same thing. All right, so Frank Gore Jr. was a stud in preseason, over 100 yards rushing, over 100 yards receiving, and could be a nice addition to the Vikings. Plus his pops would be here. There you go. Hell, his pops could probably get 50 yards a game behind this offensive line. Let's go. Then also you got Nick Muse, your company's computer guy, let go by the Eagles. So he was on the Vikings, left, joined the Eagles, won a Super Bowl. Now he could come back, and then just wears. If I'm Nick Muse, I'm just wearing that Super Bowl ring all the time. Like, hey guys, how's it going? Then of course Willie Lampkin, the pride of UNC, undersized offensive lineman. He's 5'10", 270. I do not care. Put him at fullback. I mean, C.J. Ham is on IR, does it for return, is going to miss at least 4 games. Put Willie Lampkin at fullback. I do not care in the slightest. That's all. Anyways, that a bunch of moves are coming. Kwesi looks under every rock and every nook and cranny, trying to improve this rooster, and I think that he'll do that again, either in the cornerback room as well as the receiver room. So we'll just see what happens. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Interesting Vikings targets, whether waivers, trade, free agents, etc. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best to do. Skol, production value.